But out of nowhere, my friend comes and punches me as hard as fucking possible. My arm nearly fucking breaks, and I definitely got a couple of bruises from that. So from that one punch, he still keeps on punching me for some reason and keeps on fucking barraging me, and he finally says, "Go do it, Benji. It's time." And I look at him and it's all coming back. I remember what I'm supposed to do. I remember that this day is the day where I ask out a girl I find really, really attractive, and quite literally, maybe even the most attractive girl in the entire school. It's near the end of lunch and I'm frantically swiping away at my phone in the toilet. And I'm there trying to find a piece of content that will boost my confidence, that will give me that high effect, that nice feeling in my brain, that productive, that confident, that arrogance feeling in my brain so that I can fucking survive. I'm searching for David Goggins, Hamza, Iman Gaji, Jocko Willink, all of these hard motherfuckers. I'm searching for them. I'm scrolling through the YouTube shorts. But I'm also getting these thoughts of anxiety. I'm getting thoughts like, does my breath stink? Is there dandruff in my hair? Am I gonna walk correctly? Who am I gonna meet when I go out? Who am I gonna meet in the corridors? Who am I gonna say hello to? Who am I gonna give eye contact to? But I say to myself, just a few more minutes, just 3 more minutes, just until 8 something. We can make it in time. We can have literally 1 minute left until lesson. Just a few more minutes to let everyone go by and, you know, just make sure it's silent. Make sure I don't have to meet and greet anyone. And so I look back at myself at the mirror, visualize everything I have seen, every fucking David Goggins sentence that he said when he's running, every single short that boosted my motivation. Checking the little holes in my mouth, visualizing shit, looking at myself in the mirror like 10,000 times, maybe even using the water from the tap to readjust my hair so that it looks perfect. And it's getting to a point where I'm literally going to be late for lesson. Lesson is literally due in like 2 fucking seconds. And out I go. I'm walking and I'm walking and I'm walking like Thomas Shelby from the show Peaky Blinders. And I'm doing pretty well so far for some reason. My shoulders are going back and my chest is propped up. And I'm walking with a bit of a sway. You know, that like confident shoulder sway. Can you guess why? Because there is absolutely fucking no one inside. There is 0 people inside and it is dead silent. There isn't even any noise coming out from classrooms. That is how silent it was. I could only hear my breath and the way I was walking, my footsteps. Now as I'm walking to my lesson, which is on the other side of the school, which makes it even more hard for younger Benji. And I remember having the thought in the back of my mind and hoping that no one would come inside, hoping that no popular kids, no people that preyed on me, no people that picked on me would come into my sight. Now I'm occasionally seeing staff and people going to the toilet when really they're going to vape or some shit. But even with these people that are sort of insignificant to me, irrelevant to me and my situation, doesn't trigger necessarily anything at all. I'm always barraged with insane amounts of incessant, disgusting thoughts. Like, where should I look? Should I look them in the eyes? Should I look down at the floor? Just a million thoughts a second, basically. At least that's what it felt like. And so I make it in front of my classroom's door in one piece, thank the Lord. But there is a new problem. Everyone's already sat down. The teachers already started teaching. And I have to open the door and get embarrassed in front of the class by getting scolded by the teacher. And specifically this teacher was known for scolding children and just giving them a beating in front of the lesson. He was that strict teacher. Now I have to walk in, get shouted at, everyone looking at me, and then face shame and those little comments that the students, the classmates give you whenever you're late. Oh, you're early. And that was when I fully realized that I was in this loop. I was in this loop of anxiety, bad mental health, low confidence, low self-esteem, low testosterone. Either by going there early, seeing everyone I don't want to see in the corridors, meeting and greeting people I don't like, or I face embarrassment in front of a whole classroom. Now fast forward a year and a few months, and I've made significant progress in my self-improvement. I've read a bunch of social books, I've watched a bunch of Charisma on Command, I've watched a bunch of body language shit, I've internalized a lot of the tips they gave me. And as sad as that sounds, it's helped me significantly. I've been meditating, I've been going to the gym, and just really working on my social skills in the background. Because you can't really, from my own experience, you can't really work on your social skills in a scenario where you already have a mold. A mold being a sort of societal expectation of who you are. Every person you meet, they have this sort of expectation of how you will behave. And oftentimes we bend towards their expectations. And so I've been training in the background essentially, and today was different. Extremely different. It was a 1 in a million type of day. I'm walking out of the exam hall with nearly 200 students inside this big exam hall. My brain is burned and quite literally empty from doing hard equations of maths, and so I'm just walking in back to the room where you put down all of your bags and coats. But out of nowhere, my friend comes and punches me as hard as fucking possible. My arm nearly fucking breaks, and I definitely got a couple of bruises from that. So from that one punch, he still keeps on punching me for some reason and keeps on fucking barraging me, and he finally says, "Go do it, Benji. It's time." And I look at him and it's all coming back. I remember what I'm supposed to do. I remember that this day is the day where I ask out a girl I find really attractive, and quite literally, maybe even the most attractive girl in the entire school. And so it all came down to this, because I've already been liking her for a couple of weeks now, and I've been sharing eye contact with her in the exam hall, and it's been slowly fading out, the eye contact anyways. And maybe it's a childhood trauma, but having this sort of personality in me, this sort of attachment style, I guess you could say, in me, that's scared of someone leaving, scared of her pulling away, scared of it. And so today was the day, because it was the last day I would share an exam hall with her. But there is a wall of women around her. There is a whole fucking guard, a whole clan of women that may or may not like me very much. And so I take every single cell in my body and muster up every single ounce of courage. Try my best to empty my brain and recall some of the advice that some self-help guru online has told me to do. And I'm walking up, and I walk and I command my legs to move towards that group. From taking that beating from my friend, getting that little adrenaline boost, swiping my hair, checking everything's okay, I start focusing on my breath, deeply breathing to keep everything outside, to stop the anxiety thoughts coming in, to stop myself from stopping myself. Now, I've been known notoriously across the entire school for being this silent but smart, intelligent guy. This silent but unsociable and sort of elitist and judgmental guy. I've been known as a Sigma, I guess you could say. And with this reputation, I was greeted with the most amount of frowns I had ever fucking seen in my entire fucking life. The most amount of dead serious, killer looking faces I have ever fucking seen in one time. from women as well, which was even more scary, I guess. And so basically there was no going back now. And so I follow a bit of my pre-made scripts, which was a little bit of a bad mistake, but I followed it anyways. And in the most disguised, manly, confident, slow-moving voice I can muster up in that situation, deep, trying to breathe from the diaphragm to make it sound better, to make myself more relaxed, I say, yo, brackets, her name, can I talk to you for a second? Again, no smiles, but this was good, right? There's no smiles from anyone, no smiles from her, and in fact, she looked a little bit too confused. But maybe her brain was feeding her a little bit of a suggestion. Maybe this guy likes you. Maybe that was what was happening. But this was good because my subconscious brain knew for a fact it would be fucking suicide. It would be suicide to myself to ask out in front of the group. I would get fucking crucified because a lot of the girls in the group don't necessarily like me that much. But now as she's stepping out of this insane fucking wall of this army of women that sort of want to kill me at this point for some reason, I'm getting that type of feeling. I feel a cold, big hand on my right shoulder. And I shit myself. I was struck with both relief and fear because maybe this is a friend of mine, maybe it's a friend, but is this her boyfriend? That was the bigger question. Who the fuck could this be? Maybe it's someone she's seeing. Is it one of her best friends, her boy best friends? Who could it be? And why the fuck did he put his hand on my right shoulder? But as it turns out, it's actually just a brief greeting from one of my friends that is sort of connected to this attractive woman that was asking out. They're sort of friends in a way. And that just gave me such a good encouragement and really took my head out of the situation again. But I couldn't help but think that bro was trying to support me in a way. Maybe he saw what I was doing. Maybe he saw me talking to this group of women for once, and I'm not known to do that, right? And maybe he was trying to give me some support, and I really felt that support because it took me out of my head and offered me a sort of relaxation and our perspective view into this battlefield. Nevertheless, I recentered myself and I turned back around thinking that I'm going to walk around and greet this woman and save her some time to walk around the group. But no, she was right fucking in front of me. Right in front of me as soon as I turned around. Close proximity. Eye to eye instantly. Instant locking of the eyes. Gazing. Fuck. I'm fucking screwed in this moment. Because looking into her eyes, I bend a little bit. I get a little bit weak because, truth be told, she does have quite good eyes, and that's one of the attraction points of why I like her. Because truth be told, she did have pretty good looking eyes, and honestly, if you were to look into those eyes, you'd be lost into a new galaxy. I guarantee it, at least at the time anyways. Stunned for a few seconds from looking at those beautiful galaxy eyes, I remembered what I was here to do. I was here to ask her out. And so I said these exact words. I just want to say that I think you're cute. And then I proceeded to ask her if she had a boyfriend. And then, you know, one thing before I said, I just want to say, I think you're cute, right? One thing before I said that is she said, oh no, before that. But it was like in a pity standpoint. And I said it anyway, so who cares about the fucking oh no? And so to my question of if she had a boyfriend or not, fortunately she did. At the time I felt like a combination of fucking loss and win because I did ask her out, but then she rejected me. But fortunately, she did have a boyfriend, because back then, if I'm looking back at it honestly now, I would not have been compatible with her. Because honestly, she was nice and she had feminine energy, right? But I think she was that like party type of girl. She was the party girl, does drugs, drinks, alcohol. And it's quite normal for women at my age to do that, right? But that was not what I was looking for. Especially because I was someone on self-improvement and, you know, going to the gym, meditating, going in nature, eating healthy. That doesn't really collide with the instant gratification party sort of life. And so at the end of the conversation, I said, don't worry about it, just take it as a compliment. Now, before we begin in this video and with all of the tips on how to be confident, the 12 tips on how to be confident. And disclaimer one is that this story is basically two different people. Like, if you were to compare me back then to now, it would be two different people with only 1 year of improvement, I guess you could say, in everything in general. But if you were to implement every single tip in this video, I guarantee you could probably achieve this change in maybe 2 months, 2 or 3 months of harsh effort. And maybe even one day, if you listen to one of the tips and actually implement it. One of these powerful tips I'm going to give you. And disclaimer number 2 is the reason why I told you these stories is because I believe there is an epidemic. There is a strong contingent of young teenagers that have low confidence, low self-esteem, low testosterone, like an era of weak, soft men that are okay with being in a friend zone with a woman, for example, with just being okay with being friends, thinking it's normal to be in a friend zone, when in reality, you probably feel this bitter feeling of not actually getting the woman, but just being with her, if you get what I mean. Okay with being just friends when you really just kind of want to fuck, to be honest. Being afraid at showing sexual intention, being afraid at being loud, being expressive, showing who you really are, showing your charismatic true self, and maybe even going as far as cloaking yourself with this false identity that acts as a flimsy shield in a way of like Sigma. I'm Sigma. I'm an introvert. I don't talk to people. I don't find energy. I don't find benefit in talking to people. But you have to realize that this golden shield, this shield may seem good, right? But you're already poisoned. You already have childhood traumas from a young age of maybe you tried being expressive, you tried making a really good joke when you were a child, and maybe you got shamed for that from the teacher or from your classmates, and that's probably left a deep spiritual wound in yourself. And so my point there is, yes, you can put up this amazing shield that blocks off anything, this amazing Sigma, I'm an introvert shield. But what if you're already poisoned? And that is what I went through. That is what I went through with the golden shield and the poison in your body. And so in this video, I've labeled out every single thing that's helped me gain confidence to a new level with amazing experiences, amazing stories that aren't even included in this video. That story where I was asking out this girl, is pale in comparison towards the things I do nowadays. The college life, it fails in comparison. And so without further ado, let's get started with point 1. Point 1 is false beliefs internalized into yourself, about yourself. This is from maybe a teacher when you were young, from your parents, from your friend group, from your classmates. And I know I briefly covered this in my disclaimers beforehand, but this is like the fundamental thing. This is the core reason why you are not as confident as you want to be. It's because of these false beliefs that aren't true anymore. They're fiction, but they've happened to you. And so there's a good book on this false beliefs and how to unfuck yourself. And it's called A Psycho-Cybernetics. I have it right here if you want to have a look. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And so I have already done a video on this, and if you want to check it out, it's in the link in the description below. I walk you through all the exercises on how to rewire your brain and make yourself a new identity. But I think another thing that's closely interlinked with a false belief of yourself from childhood trauma is also the mold. The mold is sort of the societal expectations. The mold is such a strong thing, and I'd even argue that it is stronger than the false beliefs. The mold, for example, that I had in secondary school was that of a silent but sort of intelligent and sort of judgmental guy. And that was just not true to my nature. It was true once, but that mold no longer fit me. But it was being forced upon me by everyone around me. And as soon as I moved to college, because I've been working in the background with all of my social skills, been practicing sort of cold approach, but like with everyone basically, in talking, making small talk with everyone in my gym, outside of my gym, in school, with people at church. I began to build a insane depth of knowledge, insane ability to truly speak one-to-one with a person, speak charismatically with a person. And so going into college was the best thing that happened to me, because I was exposed to a huge plethora of people that did not know me. And of course there's, you know, people from my old school that still keeps on trying to enforce this shitty mold onto me. But there is more strangers than old people. So I was able to break out of my mold and fully put into practice everything I've learned, from how to win friends and influence people, charisma on command, body language analysis. And now I've built myself a mold of a charismatic, outspoken, wide body language, expressive, my true self, basically. And a big misconception amongst even my old self, this was what my old self believed, right? Oh, I'm an introvert, I can't talk to people, I'm shy. No, I'm not shy, I'm just an introvert, I don't want to talk to people. But the thing is, you can still be insanely confident and charismatic if you are an introvert. It just means that you prefer spending time alone rather than speaking to people and social interactions. But you can still be this charismatic guy, and you sort of must be this charismatic guy, because I firmly believe, at least for me, I firmly believe that the charismatic self, the free of anxious and pre-made conscious mind thoughts of, oh, I'm gonna say this next, free of all of that, being completely relaxed with your body language, nervous system, your mind, being an empty-minded guy, using your subconscious to talk instead and generate thoughts and just spit them out as soon as they're generated. I believe that is the most true and expressive way to express ourselves. Now, point 2 is the social exposure amount, aka social flow. Now, this is by far the best, like the quickest way to get yourself out of the false beliefs, I believe. At least from someone like Jordan Peterson, he said that the fastest way to shattering your fear of rejection is through consistent exposure therapy in a short amount of time. So a good example of this is, you know, all of those cold approaches, those cold approach videos, those pickup artist cold approach videos, and them getting their friends to do it. And that is just such a good way to break your fear of rejection. Because just think about it, right? The more people, unknown or known, in the beginning of your day that you speak to, the more unknown and, I guess you could say, hot chicks and attractive women you can speak to at the end of the day, right? It would be significantly easier to talk to this attractive woman if you've had a whole day of just expressing your charisma, right? Another point here is flirt with the world. Instead of, this is a concept I got from Charlie Hopkins, I think that's his name, but it's the guy from the Charisma on Command channel, YouTube, right? And essentially what he said is flirt with the world. Don't just see a attractive woman and become a like hitman or a fucking sniper type of guy that just goes straight in for the kill. Don't just be this docile sort of unsociable guy to everyone else, but as soon as you see like a attractive woman, you go in for it. Don't be like that, because the most successful people in flirting with the world, like he gives the example with Russell Brand, right? So Russell Brand is this fucking charismatic man whore type of guy, at least he was, right? And basically flirts with every single person, man, woman, child, disabled person. He flirts with them, right? And what that really means is just he's playful with everyone. He's playful with old people, disabled people, attractive women, children, whatever, right? He's just playful with them, has a playful attitude to his conversations. And so whenever an attractive woman actually comes out from his many social interactions, he can actually deliver a good performance. Now, how do you go about doing this? How do you actually go about implementing the things I've told you about? That fastest way to shattering your fear of rejection is through intense exposure therapy in a short amount of time. How do you apply all of the shit I've told you about in point 2? This leads me to point 3. And point 3 is mental games and challenge. So these are a series of multiple mental challenges, mental games and challenges. Now, game number 1 is the extra sentence game. Now, this game is essentially whenever you're talking to anyone in general, just your friends, maybe you met your friend, like long time no see friend, maybe it's the receptionist, maybe it's the cashier. Just have an extra sentence each time you interact with them. I'll give you an example of me doing this myself. So I used to go to this like really small gym, and then now I'm obviously at like a more conventional gym, but there used to be this like sweet, nice old black woman right there. From looking at her attitude and the way she speaks, she's just like a old, like nice old lady, right? And so this was the perfect candidate for me to open up this game to. So I went. Honestly, bro, you don't have to say anything special. You can just say like, oh, I really like your ring or some shit. The weather's really bad today. It's terrible. Classical England weather. You can say something like that, right? It doesn't have to be flirtatious or anything. And so what I said with her, when she was giving me the code to the gym and the arm bracelet for me to go into the gym, I said, the weather's fucking terrible today, isn't it? It's typical England weather. And then, and then from what I found is they're actually very receptive to that. It's very easy to do that. And that probably broke a few inner false beliefs about myself, man. Another game is the simple eye contact game. Whenever you're walking past someone on a street, maybe you're walking to the gym, maybe you're walking to school, maybe you're in school walking through the corridors, just simply give them eye contact. They won't think you're weird. Just literally as you're walking up, right? As this exchange is going, right? As you're walking up like this, just with a slight smile on your face, right? Slight smile. It doesn't have to be like that, right? It doesn't have to be an insane fucking smile or whatever. It doesn't have to be forced. It just needs to be a little smile. It needs to be like something like that, right? And even better, if you can think of something that makes you happy. Smile. Use that thought to make you smile, which in turn gives you a genuine smile with your fucking eyes like bending up or whatever, and that communicates to them that you are actually happy to see them. And most of the time, probably 95% of the time, you are greeted back with a smile. And of those, that 5% that don't give you the smile, they're either just like avoidant with the eye contact, or they have like darting eye contact, which means you sort of win in a way. If you look at this in a game type of scenario, you sort of win the eye contact battle, which is, it feels nice, right? It gives you a little bit of a charismatic confidence boost. Now, another game and challenge here is, this isn't really a game or a challenge, it's sort of just a tactic, a quick tactic that I made up on the spot on the other day. I was just trying shit with my breath and I was just experimenting as I was walking past people. And this worked for a good couple of days, and then I don't really use it now. I sort of just breathe and look them in the eyes now. So this is, think of an approaching person. They're coming to you and you're going like this exchange, right? To either not exist or size them up really, really small. Think back to a time you were confident as fuck, or think of yourself in the future when you're like 85 years old and looking back at this situation. Because this really takes you out of the situation, right? Or maybe even zoom out of the earth, like literally zoom out from where you are right now, like a fucking Google Earth zoom out. Just zoom out and look at the globe. And obviously you're not doing that, you're fucking doing a visualization in your head. And I guess another thing that I just thought about is, when was the last time you actually remember a person? Like maybe 3 weeks ago that you were walking past and you gave them strong eye contact, or didn't give them strong eye contact. When was the last time you specifically remember a person? Chances are you can't think of many people that you've made eye contact with, right? And that is basically how insignificant it is. And having that statement and that rule in your mind, you can basically go about looking at anyone in the face that you know you're never ever going to see again. Just looking them in the eye, and then a week goes by, you completely forget, or maybe even 2 or 3 days, you'll just forget them. And why this is good, right? Why this simple eye contact game is good? It builds up a sort of armor. It builds up a sort of callus in your mind for eye contact, and the more you can do this, and the better your eye contact gets, the more you're able to do that with women. And honestly, bro, the first time you make eye contact with a woman and sort of smile or not smile, that is the first point of connection, the first point of acknowledgement of each other. And that is why it is so fucking important. If you dart away, I've had this experience before, right? If you dart away, she may think you're a chump or some shit. But if you fully look into her and she looks back and you smile and then she looks away, you know how it goes, right? You look deep into her eyes. She is the one that breaks eye contact first, and that is the first key to attraction, I firmly believe. The fourth game is in a school setting. Let's say you're really anxious at school and you don't really have that confidence yet. You don't have that confidence by yourself yet. You're not really free of those anxiety thoughts. You walk everywhere, you still have a little bit of, oh, am I walking correctly? Like those types of thoughts, right? The best thing you can do, and what I did, is have sort of pillars in groups and people. So let's say there's a drug smoking group, there's a football roadman group, and let's say there's a fucking video game group. The best thing you can do is have pillars in those groups. What I mean by this is have a best friend in each fucking group. Have a close friend in each group. And a good thing here is the higher up in the group, the higher up in the hierarchy of the group, the higher status they are in the group, the better. So having these pillars basically gives you a door to these groups, if you get what I mean. The fifth mental game and challenge is Noah Kagan's coffee challenge. Now, this is a challenge where you literally just walk into a coffee shop and ask for free coffee. And then go to another one and then do the same thing. Go to another one and do the same thing. And then that is basically the most rudimentary way of getting fear of rejection, because it's literally rejection. It's like 95% rejection, and you're just going in to get rejected and build that muscle of courage, I guess. The sixth mental game and challenge is cold approach with a friend. This, you don't necessarily even need to get their numbers. You don't need to pick them up, if you get what I mean. Like, you don't need to approach a woman and ask for the number. You can literally just go up to her and have a normal conversation, or literally just compliment her and run away or some shit. This is all you need to do. And I think a pro tip here, I've never actually done this myself, so I'm not really qualified to talk about this, but it sounds like it would work like this. Pro tip, start with less attractive individuals. Individuals that have a sort of playful attitude towards them, a sort of playful and like deep sense of dead humor with them, and then they can oftentimes take your requests and not think that you're a weirdo, basically. The seventh mental game and challenge is accountability with a friend. This is accountability. You can basically do this with anything, whether it's going into the gym, you're slacking at the gym, you want to keep on going to the gym consistently, or it's literally just with cold approaching women. You can literally ask him to punch you as hard as possible if you don't go up to the woman. You tell him, oh, this woman, I think she's attractive, I'm gonna go up to her. If I don't and I hesitate, big dig. And then obviously you can do this with money as well. And now the fourth point is breathing techniques for instant relief. Now this is by far the best on the go hack for being confident. And I have two extremely effective and good breathing techniques for you here. And the reason why it works, right? Let's say you breathe for a couple of like four or five breaths, right? And you start to become relaxed. The reason why this works is, one, you're relaxed and you can probably think better, and your subconscious gives you more and higher quality comments to make. And also, there is such a thing called mirror neurons. So if you're relaxed and you look deep into the eyes of a woman that you think that you think she's attractive, or just anyone in general, and you're relaxed, chances are she'll become relaxed as well and take in your sort of attitude and your sort of nervous system state by simply looking into her eyes for like, I don't know, 10 seconds or so, and then her heartbeat will match your heartbeat. There's some like science. I don't know the exact science, but it goes something like that. So the first breathing technique is the physiological side, and it goes something like this. Make sure you're breathing all the way down to your belly. Hit the bottom of your belly. Make sure your balls, like, I know this sounds a bit weird, but make sure your balls bulge a little bit. And then once it's filled up down there, fill it back up to your chest and then to your head. And it's okay if you don't do the head part. I don't even grasp that bit well. It's just like some spiritual shit to breathe from your belly to your chest to your head. But you can still manage with your belly and your chest. And that's what I do the majority of the time. So it's basically a long inhale until you're completely full from belly to chest, and then manage to squeeze another one on top. And then with a long exhale, a longer exhale than all of these inhales combined. And what this is supposed to do is really, really calm yourself down. With 3 breaths or so, you can change your state from a fight or flight response to a relaxed response. Because apparently that little breath on top of the long inhale, it opens up one of your organs more, and it allows you to take in more oxygen, essentially. Number 2 is Navy SEAL tactical / box breathing. There's 2 names for it, tactical and box breathing. And if the best way to explain this is literally a box. So if you can imagine a box, right? A box like this, a box. At the top, it's a 4-second inhale. This is where you start, right? 4-second inhale, 4-second hold, 4-second exhale, 4-second hold, 4-second inhale, and it just goes like that. Make sure to hold it for four seconds, like hold the inhale for 4 seconds, right? And then just keep on doing that for, I don't know, like 10 breaths, and then you'll feel ready again. This is what Navy SEALs use to think under intense stress, to pull them back out of this situation, to get their eyes out of the scope and really broaden their perspectives. Point 5, having harsh workouts. This is by far the best way I know how to get rid of thoughts that just keep on plaguing you throughout the day. Maybe it's rejection of a woman, maybe it's getting made fun of, maybe it's getting picked on, maybe it's getting shamed, maybe it's because you've done something embarrassing, and maybe even this is the most potent form of demons, I'll call it. I'll just call it demons. Having a guy do better than you in a competition, having a guy doing like beating you in a competition, doesn't matter which competition it is, but having a guy, specifically someone that maybe even is a little bit lower in capabilities than you, it will trigger so fucking much of your demons and bad plaguing thoughts that when you go into the gym, you may even increase your strength. You may even experience a increased strength and enthusiasm to work out, because you just want to beat the shit out of this guy who beat you in the competition, especially when it comes to women. If there is a guy that took your woman or is liked by a bunch of women and you like those women, but those women don't like you because they like that guy, you will have extreme amounts of enthusiasm to your workout by thinking of that guy. And you'll probably get like a 10% strength increase as well. But why this is good for your confidence is because, honestly, bro, if you just go into the gym with all of these plaguing thoughts, push that shit off of your chest and have a truly, truly fulfilling workout. Don't lie to yourself, right? Don't lie about the reps or I'm doing 3 sets of 10, I'm done. And you don't even fail, you don't even sweat, you're not even a bit sore from the workout. You don't even feel your muscles burning. You don't even feel fulfilled at the end of the workout, and you think you could have done more. Then there's this saying by Tom Platz, right? If you think you can do more by the end of your workout and you still leave, then you're a loser. And that's the difference between loser and winner. And basically, Tom Platz, the quad father, he's basically a really, really hench bodybuilder that's known for his legs, right? And what he says is he makes a promise to himself before he even gets to the gym to really, really try his best, and that he's not going to leave the gym a loser. Another way a harsh workout will give you a sense of confidence is straight after the workout. You sort of have this serene calmness. You sort of have this monk serene calmness alongside this boost of confidence, almost this insane charismatic boost of confidence. Like if you literally were to get off doing a hard set of squats for example, or the leg machine, and you honestly, down to your heart, down to your core, fully believe that was 100% of all your efforts into that leg machine or that rep, you get out of that, maybe breathe for 5 seconds because you're fucking deranged from putting all your muscles in under tension. Take like 5 seconds. You could probably go and cold approach a woman if you were challenged to do it with like £5 bet or some shit. You could probably go and do that, right? Because you just have this insane high level of testosterone mixed with, I just accomplished something amazing. I just broke through all of the barriers holding me back from fully engaging every single ounce of my body, every single cell, putting 100% effort into this set. I told my body what to do and it did it. And so that probably gives you a mindset change of, I'm going to tell myself now to go and talk to that woman, and my body is going to correspond, because you're in the flow of telling your body to do shit. Another reason why you would probably get a huge confidence boost from working out is probably something more dark. It's like if you get hench, right? This is my theory. If you get hench, get shredded, get big, people will see that you're getting big, right? People will see that you're gaining muscle, you're working out hard, you're looking a bit better now, your V-taper's coming along. They want to associate with you because you've gotten more hench now. And because you're more hench, they want to associate with you. And when they associate with you, their value goes up because they're walking next to a person that is naturally respected. Because if you have a hench body, naturally you get respected by every man, basically. And so when they walk next to you, they get this higher status feeling because they are walking next to you. They offer you validation so that others will offer validation to them, because they sort of treat you as a status object now. And that's a more darker reason why workouts will probably make you more confident. You'll get more friends from it. So how do you have harsh workouts? How do you have this fulfilling workout, this insanely harsh workout to make you insanely confident? I actually have a whole video, 30-minute long video, covering every single thing about like having a fulfilling workout and what's not fulfilling, how to tell, how to get a fulfilling workout. And I'll link that video in the description below if you want to check it out. Point 6 in how to be more confident is consistent meditation for 2 weeks. Now, I used to have this period where I just completely did meditation, piled on the meditation minutes every single day. I just did it every single day for 13 minutes straight, 15 minutes, even 20 minutes. I just did it every single morning before my work. And that has been extremely transformative for me. Now, I'll admit that I'm not doing meditation very consistently right now, but when I did do meditation consistently, I felt a significant decrease in anxietal, disgusting thoughts. Thoughts like, oh, am I doing this right? Oh, am I walking right? Is this woman looking at me? Oh my God, should I show eye contact? Is my hair looking good? Is there dandruff on my shirt? There is a significant decrease in all of these thoughts. And when there's a significant decrease in all these thoughts, then you should theoretically be more confident, right? Now, meditating consistently for 2 weeks, you'll also get a benefit of noticing things, noticing yourself going off track. For example, if you're working in your deep work block and you suddenly go off track, you suddenly start daydreaming about some event that happened like yesterday or something, or just start daydreaming about something you want to happen. A good way to stop daydreaming and get back into that flow of 100% focus on that task is to literally just meditate for 13 minutes for like a week straight, and then you'll notice that you catch yourself a lot. You catch yourself, oh shit, I'm going off topic, oh shit, I'm going off task. Because meditation really is just noticing that you've gone off topic. So a bunch of thoughts fly in and you get caught up in the thoughts, you start adding to the thoughts, your brain starts working on them, starts making a story out of them, and then you catch yourself like, oh fuck, I'm caught into this story. Let me bring it back to the center of my breath. Let me bring it back to breathing. And maybe even think about a specific point on your body. Maybe it's like the tip of your finger, or like this part here, and then just breathe and think about this part. And then of course the thoughts will come again, and then you start daydreaming and you'll go off task again, but you bring it back. And that is basically the art of meditating, and that's just training that muscle to focus, basically training that muscle to stop your brain from daydreaming and noticing it early. The number 7 is having a strong and confident friend group. Having a strong friend group that you are proud of will make so much of a difference to everything you do in life. It's like a friend you would consider as a brother of yours, basically, like a really, really close friend. Your confidence levels and your ability to do wild shit that you wouldn't do on your own sort of just splits into two, right? Your capabilities are basically shared at this point. Your capabilities to go out and cold approach a woman, it's doubled and it's shared between you. That's the best way I like to think about it. But just the more friends you have that are close, now there is a limit, right? If you have like 10 friends, you're probably not going to be as close if you had 2 really close friends. But generally speaking, the more friends you have that are close, the more you're able to do things that you aren't capable of doing by yourself. They also provide this weird sort of backing. If you fail from an interaction, from talking to a woman, or if you just fail at doing whatever social related, you can literally just go back to them, hide in that group, and you're safe. And they'll be like, no, it's fine, we'll get them next time. And then that offers you such a big wall to lean on. Whereas if you're literally doing that by yourself, you're cold approaching a woman by yourself, you fail, you're rejected, you have to sit in that pain yourself. You don't get any friends that go like, oh, we'll get them next time, oh fine, it's fine, she wasn't even that pretty anyways. Another thing about having a strong friendship group that you're proud of is you sort of get to practice your true self. You get to practice your true charismatic flow because you're not afraid of them judging you. You're not afraid of them looking at you and thinking you're weird or whatever, because you're so close with them, right? You know each other on a deep level. So you're able to express your real self, unfiltered. You're able to make those dark, humorous jokes that you wouldn't like talk to someone about. You're able to express yourself freely. And that is so helpful, especially for me, right? What it did for me was it gave me such a good idea of what I'm actually capable of. What I'm capable of if I had no constraints, if I had no imposter syndrome, if I had no shitty anxietal thoughts in my brain, what I am capable of, what body language, how expressive I'm actually capable of if I wasn't fearing people's judgment. And so that gives you a good perspective of what you can be like in social scenarios where you're talking to a group of strangers or whatever. This is your capability. This is your limit. So the next time you're talking to a group of strangers or an attractive woman, you find yourself a little bit constricted, you can remind yourself that when you were talking to your closest friend, that is the guy. That is you. And so you try to bring that guy back to the conversation with you and a stranger, or you with an attractive woman. Now, how do you go about strengthening the bond between your friends? How do you go about making good friends, finding good friends in the first place? There are really two things I can think about. It's one, once you get the friend, it's the only really good way I've ever made friends, ever strengthened the bond with a friend so much that they become a close friend of mine, a blood brother, if you will, is through gym. It's through a consistent gym routine where we just keep on going to the gym together, and that's all we do. We don't go out to parks, we don't go out to whatever shopping street to go shopping, we don't go to cafes. The only thing is literally go to gym. And that strengthens it so much because you two are helping each other. You two are participating in a struggle to their end. You two are basically helping each other achieve a likewise goal. Like both of you want the goal of like a insanely aesthetic and strong body, right? And both of you are struggling. You're seeing each other struggling and sweating, and you're helping each other along the way. And that basically, from my own experience, right, builds the best friendships ever. How you actually get the good quality friend, the high value friend in the first place, the friend that's maybe even on self-improvement like you are, or maybe the friend that's just better quality overall, not a friend that's just funny, right, but he goes out and fucking smokes and shit. He's funny, I'm gonna hang out with him. The way you get a good brother-like friend, like a good blood brother with good values and the same beliefs as you, is to actually polarize yourself. It's to polarize yourself so fucking heavily that you get insane amount of haters and an insane amount of lovers. The way you polarize yourself is by speaking your beliefs, speaking your ideals. Obviously, you can't speak them to a level that's completely unfiltered, but speaking your mind. Don't get like talked over, basically. Speak your mind, speak your unfiltered thoughts. Like maybe you have some red pill shit in your mind and everyone's like, oh, it's fine to be in the friend zone, but you disagree with that. And so go ahead and say that. You may get haters in the moment, right? You may get a complete bullshit amount of haters, right? Everyone hates you on the table now. Everyone hates you in the classroom. But because now you're polarized, it will start to spread. The hate, the disgusting hate people have for you, because they don't understand you, it will start to spread. People will begin to gossip about you. And then he comes into the picture. And then the guy that literally loves you, the guy that loves you so much, the guy that is your blood brother, your brother, the polar opposite of the haters, will come into the picture because you've polarized yourself. Because you've literally made yourself into one side. And so you get haters and you also get lovers. Whereas most people are just stuck in the middle. You hear the group say, this is good, this is good. You hear the group say A is B, A is B. But if you polarize yourself, stick strong with your own personal beliefs, guess what? You'll attract similar people and you'll repel the people that aren't compatible with you naturally. And I just find that to be such a beautiful process that most people are afraid of, because they're afraid of getting kicked out of the tribe, like that feeling of getting kicked out of the tribe, right? Where you're disagreeing with the group's beliefs and you get kicked out. But it's all good. It's all for the better good, because you'll find yourself a better tribe, a more compatible tribe anyways. It's just a long game, all right? It's a long run game. It's a game to play. You have to out-endure that hate in the first beginning phases of polarizing yourself. But there is another secret tactic in polarizing yourself. And this secret tactic is by far the most effective in polarizing. You'll get the most amount of hate. You'll get the most amount of repelled disgust towards you. But you'll also get the most amount of respect from truly compatible people. From truly compatible, strong brothers that love you. And that is by making a YouTube channel and sharing all of your thoughts. And then eventually, this is what happened to me, right? So I'm just describing it to you. Eventually, your YouTube channel will get discovered. And when it does get discovered, all your haters will hate you even more. But guess what? You get more brothers on your side. You get more love on your side. You get more strong bonding on your side. And that is my current circumstance right now. So people have found out by my YouTube channel. Who gives a shit? I get more polarization. It gets spread around. And maybe even, this is a hope, right? Maybe even a woman with same beliefs and values as me comes into the picture. And then she can be my day one girl that I bring to the top with me. Maybe that happens. You know, that's a good thing to hope for. Now, number 8 is gut and diet. I have a video covering the perfect diet. The diet that will bring you productivity, a good bulk, a good gym feeling. It makes you feel good in the gym, right? It makes you feel like you can lift weight. It makes you feel like you can accomplish a shit ton of work in like 4 hours or some shit. I will link a video to that in the description below. It's called like the perfect diet or some shit for bulking and productivity. But number 1 is just a thing to avoid, right? Try to avoid caffeine too much. Try to avoid caffeine, especially if you know you're going to go into a social situation that you may be under pressure. You may be talking to a bunch of attractive women or something. Just try to avoid caffeine. Now, obviously, everyone's different with caffeine tolerance and whatever. But for me, if I drink a cup of just normal coffee, to be honest, like Americano or just some instant coffee, right? And I go into a situation where it's an attractive woman or I may be under pressure or something, I get shaky. I get shaky a little bit, even if I'm not feeling that stressed in the moment, even if I'm not feeling like weird sensations in my stomach telling me, I have anxiety now, it feels like shit, what should I do in this moment? Even if I'm not getting those shitty thoughts, right? I still get shaky for some reason. And that is the start of a downward spiral anxiety rabbit hole. As soon as you get shaky, you go like, is this shakiness showing in my interactions? Does she notice my shakiness? And then that's where you go down a rabbit hole of complete bullshit. Another thing is carbs. If you stock up on insane amount of carbs that you literally feel lethargic. Now, some carbs are alright, okay? So it's like a small bowl of rice is fine. But if you eat a whole bowl of spaghetti or eat some fucking croissants or some baguettes or eat some highly processed bread or some burgers like that, you'll probably feel lethargic, tired, and you won't be able to think properly. You'll probably just be too tired to like really give someone that presence and that enthusiasm to listen to them speak. You'll probably just be sitting there like, yeah, let's just get this over with. That's probably the type of attitude you'll bring in this social interaction, and that will make it worse. The best social interaction you can have is when you're deeply listening to someone, looking into their eyes and fully listening to them, not waiting until they finish talking to bring your topics in, to fully listen to every single word they're saying. And then once a thought comes up into your head, because you've been listening on 100%, that is the thought you can reply back to them with. So what is the diet for good social interactions? Well, for me, is a keto sort of diet with only a little bit of carbs, only a little bit. And so it's basically just meat, occasionally some vegetables. Now I don't even have that much vegetables. I get all of my nutrients from the fat, so maybe ribeye or just some like fatty shit, beef mince with fucking black beans or whatever. I'm experimenting with a lot of recipes, right? But I just get most of my shit from high quality meat and a little bit of carbs, like a bowl of rice or some shit. Never bread, never spaghetti. I just get it from a bowl of rice. To me, that's like the best, the cleanest way, the cleanest carbs, basically. And I also, when I'm washing the rice and I'm like gonna cook it, right, put it in the rice cooker, wash all of that starch out. Wash all of that. You know, when you wash rice, if you've ever washed rice before, when you wash it, it becomes cloudy, right? The water, it becomes white, cloudy. Wash it till it's basically clear. And then that's a good way to getting rid of the carbohydrate starch of the rice. It probably makes it a little bit leaner and it tastes better, I guess. Now, number 9 is cold exposure for literal zero depression. Now, this, if you're wondering why I put this here, it's the main use case for this is if you lose. If you lose from a rejection, if you lose from a failed approach, and if you even maybe lose from not having enough courage to approach a really attractive woman, if you lose in that like little way, right? I know it hurts. At least for me, it hurts, right? When you see an attractive woman, you're thinking you're gonna go, and then you miss the opportunity because you like your comfort zone, right? Even if it's that loss, that tiny loss, right? The best way I found for getting rid of that loss, immediately getting rid of that plaguing feeling in your heart, is through a cold shower. Now, I know cold showers are difficult, especially because it's approaching winter now and it's approaching Christmas. But by far, this is the best thing to completely get rid of that shit and to feel like a winner again. If you get in the shower, cold shower, when you don't feel like you can, you don't feel like you prefer to be warm, right? You stayed in your room all day, you're all nice and warm, and now you're going in a cold shower and you actually follow through with it, you'll feel like a winner, and that feeling will override and quite literally get rid of that bitter feeling in your heart from suffering a loss. Another thing is the adrenaline and the dopamine that you get from this cold shower. It literally, sometimes if it's so cold, and I literally just came from a room of like nice warmth, right, and I go in the cold shower, I literally break out in a laugh. That's how insane it is. That's how much adrenaline it gives you. And how you actually go into colder exposure, how you go into a cold shower, right? I know it's insanely hard for beginners. It's probably the most scary thing you've done ever, and you probably want to do it and never do it ever again. It sucks, right? But after probably 2 weeks of doing it, your body gets a little bit changed. Your skin gets changed. Your mind chemistry gets a little bit used to it. It's the best way to describe it is like this, right? Hard as fuck. 2 weeks. Hard. And then a couple of months, it just starts to go like this. It actually starts to decline. You heard online, right? You may have heard online that you take cold showers, and it doesn't get easier. But it does. People that say that just haven't done it consistently. They haven't done it consistently for maybe like a year or so. And I have. I have never, mark my words, right? Truth to God, I have never taken a hot shower for like a year now, a year and a few months. That's how hard I've gone into a cold shower. For me to take a hot shower now is like taking a cold shower when I was a beginner. It feels like shit. The last time I took a hot shower was like months and months and months ago, and that was not even because I was tempted to go and do it. That was literally because I was scared to shit I was going to get hypothermia from taking a cold bath for the first time. So I was getting out the cold bath, I was shivering like shit. I literally could not like grab anything. I was just like like that, right? And so the big mistake I made was going into a hot shower, which made it even worse somehow. And after that hot shower, I just felt like shit. I felt like lethargic and tired and whatever. And it's just such a overall benefit to have cold showers as a normal thing in your life. Cold showers is just normal to me now. Like my whole family and all my friends just know me to take cold showers. I've never taken a hot shower in like ages, bro. I don't even remember the last time anymore. I don't remember the date. That is how much I love cold showers. It provides me a refreshment each time. It provides me adrenaline. It boosts my energy instead of making me tired so that I can do more work and contribute more to my life. It can do wonders for you, basically. You can act as a reset after you've done 3 hours of work. You do that cold shower for maybe 7 minutes. Stay in there 7 minutes. Get that little shiver, right? Get that little shiver, and that's when you know you've done enough for that cold shower session. And then after you can literally do like 2 more hours of work simply because you've refreshed your brain with that cold shower, because you're taking large breaths like that in the cold shower as well, which brings more oxygen, and more oxygen you have, the more refreshed your brain is, the more you're able to do more work, basically. But how you actually get started with cold showers is to really psych yourself up. The first few times it's okay to like pretend you're fucking boxing the shower and like pretend you're hard, right? To take that motivation you may have gone from David Goggins, or maybe just look into Wim Hof himself. If you don't know who Wim Hof is, it's this spiritual old guy that discovered the cold is good for you, and he used to be like homeless or whatever, and now he's like insane with the spiritual and health shit. And basically just check out these 2 people, David Goggins and Wim Hof, and that will get you through probably the first few days of just thinking you're David Goggins. Who's gonna carry the most in the shower, right? And you start fucking boxing the water. Oh, like that. Literally just fucking start hyping yourself up like a fucking gorilla and then go inside. But that does not last long, and it is probably not as healthy for you, because if you are stressed in the cold shower, this is from Wim Hof directly, right? If you are stressed in the cold shower, it will actually make everything worse. It will make your nervous system have the wrong response towards it. What you want to do is love the water, embrace it, become the water, basically. I know these terms are vague right now, right? But you get it after like a month in. You have to embrace the water with relaxation. Treat it as your best friend. Treat it as a warm best friend. Like, you have to embrace it with relaxation. Otherwise, you won't get the benefits. And in fact, if you go in there stressed and hating the water, like, like that, if you hate the water, it will literally break your nervous system. It will give you the wrong response. Whereas if you go in there, embrace it, start like breathing deeply, calming your nervous system down, training your nervous system to be okay, to be calm under that pressure, under that adrenaline hit, under that cold water, that change of environment, training that, embracing it, thinking that the water is good for you, and being, most importantly, relaxed. It will give your nervous system the best response. And then you'll get all the benefits of never being sick, or just actually having a good cold shower, actually loving it instead of hating it. I'm disciplined. Instead of being that, you'll be like, oh yeah, I love my cold showers. I'm the next Wim Hof. That's basically what you'll become, and that's literally me. Now, number 10 is posture. Posture is such a good fucking thing, bro. It is such a like instant change. It's such a on-the-go change towards your confidence. It's alongside breathing, right? Alongside breathing to your diaphragm and physiological side, whatever. If you stand like Superman, right? This is something I've heard ages ago. I'm not sure if it's true. It might be, but if you stand like Superman like this, it helps if you're the fucking, you have insane lats, right? You have lats that look like wings and your head, right? It helps. But if you stand like Superman like this, either like this or this, if you stand like that for 2 minutes, apparently you'll get this boost of confidence and testosterone, and then you'll literally become overconfident. I think that's what they said. But just doing that for 2 minutes, because it's sort of like an awkward position, right? If you break through the barriers, like if you just keep on doing this for 2 minutes, you break through all the barriers in your mind. Oh, why am I doing this? No, everyone's looking at me. Oh, this is such a weird pose. No one ever does it. If you break through all of those barriers, then you'll hit a fucking jackpot at the end, and then you'll literally be able to perform well. And there was this period in my life, I'll just tell you the story. There was this period in my life where I still had bad mental health, right? But my spine had problems, right? I had to go to a chiropractor, and after 3 years of literal pain and headache in my brain, and turns out my neck was fucked, and my spine literally looked like this, right? Instead of a straight spine like this, it literally went in a C, bro. It was like fucking, it went like this. And basically I had to go to the chiropractor like very, very often, and then I forced myself to have the best posture ever. I literally propped my chest up for literally everything. I did not give a shit what everyone thought about. In fact, I got complimented so many times on how good my posture was. Your posture is a little bit too good. Like, it was such a fucking exaggeration. I literally did that all the time, and then I got known as the guy with a huge chest as well, which helped a significant amount to my mental health. But the best way to think about this is probably have the posture of a Sarama chicken. Sarama chicken is a Malaysian chicken, right? A Malaysian Sarama chicken. And if you just Google that shit up, you'll probably find a chicken that goes like all the way up with his chest, and basically have the posture of that shit. And it's helped so much, bro. Just even if it's just a little bit, just like maintain this shit. If you're still scared to do the exaggeration shit all the way to the top, right? It's fine if you do it a little bit. No one will make a difference. In fact, they'll probably think you're more hench than you actually are if you just do it a little bit. Just have it in your mind. Be mindful of your posture, and just keep on doing this, like with your chest up like that. Just keep on doing that for like 2 weeks, and then you'll experience a change. Experience a change in how people see you, and therefore your mind and identity changes along with that. Another thing that's important is your posture when you're sitting down. Like, this is more into body language, but if you have a relaxed posture when you're sitting down on a chair, maybe there's another chair and you're like fucking this, right? You're literally leaning like that. It helps so much. It's like a vice versa thing. So if you're relaxed, you naturally have this posture anyways. You have a relaxed environment, you naturally like cross your legs and you're literally sitting like this, right? You're naturally doing that because you have a relaxing environment. There's no threats, anything. The same way but it works the same way around as well. That's the interesting thing. If you literally force yourself to be relaxed, man spread, literally do this like that, lean back, start breathing from the stomach, start diaphragming, start being open with your gestures, right? Just like this, start doing this shit. It actually makes you more relaxed in the current moment. It makes you relax so fucking much, alongside the breathing, of course. And a funny thing, right? Not a funny thing. An interesting thing is the first time when I had like a good eye-to-eye presence with a woman that was pretty attractive and we built like a relationship or whatever. The first time I did that, I noticed something. My body subconsciously, without me even noticing, right? I just man spread it to the fucking brim. I wasn't even noticed of this. I didn't do this purposefully, right? But when I had this eye-to-eye contact with this woman that may or may not like me, I still don't know to this day, because fucking men are just like that, right? Women give the signs, men are just like, huh? Like that, right? And so I just subconsciously man spread it for no reason. I don't know why I did that, but it was just like wham, like that. And I was sitting like a fucking king as well, bro. I was like my hands were literally on my thighs like this, like a fucking king. And then I guess like, this is my theory, right? I guess your body just subconsciously mind spreads when you like talking to an attractive woman, because it's like being wary of your fertilization or some shit like that, right? It's trying to give more coolness to your balls so that you're not heating up your sperm so that it doesn't die or some shit. I don't know, right? It's just a theory, but that's pretty interesting. Now, an actionable step I have for you here is try to have a week of induced learning for body language, charisma, etc. Just keep on watching these videos like Charisma on Command, how to be confident or whatever. Learn all of these tactics, body language analysis. Just keep on learning about it. Have like 1 or 2 weeks of just induced learning. And even better, try to implement one of the tactics every single day. One tactic per day, and then just try to use it in social interactions like framing or whatever. Just whatever method they teach you, just note it all down on some pad and then try to use it in a social scenario. Now, I'll admit that I only really did the week of induced thing. I never really did the note one thing down and try it in a social interaction. But what I did do was have a week of insane learning. Every single morning before school, I would watch Charisma on Command. I was just obsessed with body language and charisma, right? And so literally I just watched all of that shit. Maybe I watched like 5 videos, right? 5 Charisma on Command videos that are like 10 minutes long. Maybe I got one thing that I found really, really interesting in that. And this is like a natural way to do it, right? I found one thing that they talked about really, really interesting that I want to implement. Go to school, go to whatever social scenario, go to the gym, and then you practice that shit. And that's what I did. I literally practiced that shit subconsciously. I was like, oh shit, this is a good chance. I'm talking to my friend. Oh shit, I could have used that method. Oh shit, I'm gonna use it now. And that's basically how I learned every like charismatic thing, every single body language trick, every just how to use your hands more. Like I remember even at one point I was so obsessed with body language, like hand movement, right? If you remember, if you check out my old videos, my very, very, very old videos, I was literally just talking like this. I was talking like this to the camera, like real close. The camera was all the way down, so I was just like, I was all the way above the camera, looking like a fucking authority figure when I'm not suitable to be one, and with no hands on sight. It's not good to not show your hands, basically. Apparently, I'm not sure where I heard this from, but having your hands visible, right? Having your hands visible like this, it builds more trust, apparently. And I think this is from the author of the book Cues, Vanessa Van whatever. Point 11 is purpose and discipline. Now, this is for you to make a sort of inner confidence for yourself. Now, this requires like a whole giant video, so I'll link another video that briefly explains this shit, and it's I'll just link it below. It's called How to Become Limitless, like the movie, and I explain how to optimize your flow and purpose into a routine and shit in that video. And basically this gives you such a inner confidence, right? You can be outside, you can have this charisma that you just tap into, right? But do you have this inner confidence? Do you have this inner thing like, oh, they don't know me, they don't know they don't know what I have inside. They don't know what I'm truly capable of doing. They don't know what I have in the working. They don't know the castle I'm building in the background. Do you have that inner confidence? Because I do, and it helps so fucking much with building a personality. It builds mystery with someone. And I'll give you an extremely good tip here before I even go in to talk about purpose and discipline. Extremely important tip. Never tell anyone about your next steps. Never tell anyone about your goals. Never ever do that. Never tell anyone about your business as well, except maybe your closest friend that you know won't leak shit out. And by doing that, you'll build such a fucking mystery to yourself. People will want to know what you're doing to an insane amount. They'll always ask you, and you'll be like, nope, it's confidential. And then that builds more mystery, and you become the talking topic of mysterious. But if you do tell someone your goals and your business, just try not to ever do that again. And chances are you have to wait like a few months for a new goal, for your progress to outweigh that goal, right? Your progress to unfuck all of that, to get over that goal, right? And maybe have a new goal, and then you can start being mysterious and have that inner confidence again. But having a routine that aligns with your purpose, everything that allows you to work more, will provide you so much happiness. Once you've discovered your purpose, you won't know exactly what it is. You won't know if it's like talking, speaking, writing, being creative. You won't know the exact thing. I hear a lot of people online saying, oh, my purpose is making videos. My purpose is talking. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something deeper. Maybe it's expressing your thought. Maybe it's something more spiritual, like or maybe it's something deeper, like people, like managing people, because from a young childhood age you've been neglected by people and you want to like people, and then that this becomes your purpose. It's something deeper than just some fucking plain shit like recording. It's something deeper, right? So you don't be mad at yourself for not finding the exact purpose. But once you do have a purpose, it's insane. Basically, it's basically more fun than any video game you'll ever play. And you become this sort of workaholic, and this is how Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Alex Hormozy, this is how they work, because they love it. They're workaholic. They would literally do nothing else but work. And so having a routine that doesn't fuck up that chance to work, that just allows you to work as much as possible, like from even the food and the way you sleep, how much you sleep, the food, right? If you eat a starchy meal that prevents your mind from fully being engaged into your work, like a starchy spaghetti like plate of carbs, right? If you just eat that and it stops you from working, you will be depressed, because that is from my own experience. From my own experience, if I eat anything that's carby or anything stops me from fully fulfilling my purpose for the day, like reaching that 100% happiness, I've done enough. If I don't reach that and I fuck up something in the middle, like eating a carby meal, and I can't fulfill it like really well because digestion's happening and my mind's all foggy now, I will be so fucking depressed. People in the self-improvement industries talk about earning your meal, right? Doing a big bout of work and then you eat, and then the meal will taste better or whatever. And that is partly the reason why, is because it literally, you have to fulfill your purpose first for the day, and then you can go indulge in food. Now, point 12 is actionable step. This is a actionable step I want to bestow on you, because I found it so helpful when literally these self-improvement gurus and YouTubers, they give you a actionable step and challenge you. I find that so intriguing and so helpful. And it actually it actually works somehow. I could literally just shut off the video and be like, shut up, mate. I could literally do that. But instead it just hits me in a way so fucking well, because I go like, fuck, why did you have to do that? Now I have to do it. There are 3 options to choose from. One is go chat to someone new by the end of tomorrow. It could be some guy that you nod your head to, like in class or whatever, in the corridor. It could literally just be that. Or if you want to pass that guy, if you want to be more superior, you got to talk to a girl. It can be clapped or whoa. Well, I didn't mean to say it. I'm sorry. And a level above talking to some random guy or girl is specifically talking to a girl. That's 2 points. You're a little bit above the guy who just talked to a random dude. Well done. But you'll be the king and the god of this video. I don't know, you'll be the winner and the king, the trophy winner of this video if you talk to an attractive person, an attractive female, your crush even. But by the end of tomorrow, you got to do at least one of these. And so you can win either way. And so I provided you 3 options instead of just one. Go talk to the most attractive girl. I provided you 3 options so that you don't feel like a loser, even if you couldn't talk to your crush, even if you had to resort to the 1.1. I know that is the 12th point, but just another thing, bro. If you are serious about... Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Now that is the 12th point, but I have another thing for you. Another thing you could consider. A big part of attraction in the first place is aesthetic physiques, right? Aesthetic physiques, strong looking good in your jumpers, your outfits, your suits, your t-shirts, looking good, right? Having that little bulge that the females can see, having that aesthetic V-taper, that top-down physique. That is an essential part in attracting any female. I know females aren't like exactly as much into looks as men are. So men look at women, holy shit, she's attractive, I gotta go talk to her. Women probably look at the guy's personality or whatever, however it goes, right? But attractive body, it just screams something to the woman that you're more valid, you're more respect. She can see that you have more ambition, especially if it's a feminine female. She would want a ambitious man. So if you're interested in anything like that and you want to be a part of a 28-day fitness journey with me, it's a high ticket program, and if you want to be a part of that, I'm taking only 5 spots. It's a lean high ticket program. Feel free to check the link in the description below. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching through this video, and if you made it to the end, you are a brother, and I actually love you because you stuck through a fucking hour-and-a-half video. That is absolutely insane. I want to know more about you, and it would be great if you could join my Discord and we can talk more in there if you want. In a bit, bro.